I didn't want to come to Costa Rica. It was about 4 weeks ago, 7 o'clock at night on a cold night in London, and my wife approached me and she said, "For Christmas, let's get away. Let's go to Costa Rica. I want to go on a retreat. I want you to come as well." First thing that comes into my mind is, how are we going to afford it? What about the calls I've got booked in? What about work? I've committed to different meetings. How can I let those people down? And there was just fear that went through my body and into my mind to stop me from coming to this place. And this happens in all aspects of our life. Because if we check in with the capital S self, the self that's connected to the Most High, to the ethereal, to God, to the universe, an opportunity like this to go to a place like this is of course something that we would want, and I would want, my capital S self would want to experience. The whole process is around spiritual reparenting. How can I reparent parts of me that are scared and fearful of taking this jump, spending the money that I wasn't planning on spending, changing plans from the plans we had before to these new plans, right? Because again, the capital S self would of course want to go to a place like this. It's abundant, it's expansive. You're around people that are creating a different life for themselves, which deep down in my heart, in my soul, is what I want as well. The video today is a reflection of my own patterns and behaviors, and how you can be aware of your own patterns and behaviors. In my example, again, the capital S self would have loved and wanted, when I checked in, really wanted to come to a place like Costa Rica. But it was the parts of me from before, from maybe witnessing certain scenarios when I was younger, maybe experiencing a lack of safety in something that hasn't been organized, that is very much last minute planning, that took me into a place of fear. Because in reality, my needs were met. I had the money, I had the health, I had the time, I was able to change my calendar. So if all those needs were met, then it's something more deeper part inside of us, inside of me, that needed reparenting, around feeling safe to spend the money that I wasn't planning on spending, for rearranging the meetings that I had planned in the diary, for letting people down that we had Christmas plans for, and going into these parts of me and these parts of myself that needed the attention, the love, that didn't feel safe to take that jump, to come out here at the last minute, at the last notice. Because again, the capital S self, the aligned version, the grounded version of myself, wanted and would love and has loved this experience. One of the scenarios that came into my mind was that I had a meeting booked in with a client for, quite a big contract, and I had to rearrange that meeting with that client, and there was a lot of fear around, oh my God, I might lose this client. 5 days into being here in Costa Rica, that client paid me their first installment. So again, I could have been living in fear in the UK and not taking the jump because parts of me were fearful that I might lose this contract, and the contract would have come in anyway. And since being here, like I mentioned, the contract came in. We've met amazing people, had amazing experiences, and yes, it cost money that wasn't planned on being spent. But in 10 years time, I'm not going to look back on the money that was spent here. I'm going to look back on the memories, the experiences, the potential to live here long term, which wasn't on the agenda 4 weeks ago. So when fear comes up for you, ask yourself, are your basic human needs met? And if they are, then what part of you is scared, is fearful of the next evolution of your life? Because if we listen to our parts, if we listen to the repressed versions of ourselves and never took a leap of faith, never did something out of routine, out of the ordinary, and the lack of variety, that's where we don't find the magic. We have to find the magic in life by taking leaps, by trusting. But we're only able to do that when we love parts of ourselves that are still fearful, the inner child inside that needs the love, that needs to be told, it's okay, it's safe. In my example, it's safe, everything's going to be okay. Even if you spend X amount of money, you let these people down, you miss that meeting, it's going to be okay, you're safe. And hold that version of you in your consciousness. And if you do this over time, those fears will start to evaporate because they will become one with the wholeness of your capital S self. And you can move forward in your life, continuing to take the small steps, the leaps of faith towards a life that you desire. Because remember, your life starts with you.